The main purpose of this webinar series is to engage maximum people with this fruitful and healthy activity in this pandemic situation. There are interesting topics with great speakers, and we will spend some good time together. Okay, so here is our series timeline. We have total 10 webinars with 2 bonus sessions on different talk themes like mental well-being, research methodology, personal development, sustainable development and coherent national research agenda in Pakistan. Find your inner skills and start making money. Value of entrepreneurship, study of COVID-19 from the perspective of control systems. Personal branding, if you don't find it, create it. Time management. 140 people attended our first webinar on mental well-being by Mariam Rashid via Facebook and WebEx. 151 people attended our second webinar on research methodology by Dr. G.S. Javed. 110 people attended our third webinar on personal development by Mariam Rahman. 103 people attended our fourth webinar on sustainable development and coherent national research agenda in Pakistan by Naveed Ahmed Unar. 180 people attended our fifth webinar on Find Your Inner Skills and Start Making Money by Aisha Tabassum. 101 people attended our sixth webinar on Value of Entrepreneurship by Muhammad El Dalal. 148 people attended our bonus webinar on study of COVID-19 from the perspective of control systems by Mr. Gulame Mustafa Abru. Today's speaker is Waqas Hassn, and he will talk about personal branding. Waqas Hassn is an internet entrepreneur and a motivational speaker with two online brands, 30-Day Experiment and Australia Yours. His blogs receive a combined monthly readership of 1 lakh plus from 150 countries, while his popular Instagram program on personal development has over 5 million views and a following of 30,000 plus people. Waqas is a gold medalist graduate from the National University of Singapore with a double major in engineering science and business. He was also a liberal arts scholar at NUS. Outside of academics, he was the president of Asianpreneurs 2011 to 2013 and CE-wide Student Entrepreneurship Society with presence in 60 universities. For his leadership achievements, Waqas was given the prestigious Distinguished Leadership Award at NUS. Since mid-2017, he has been actively training city planners on using technology to take advantage of the future cities revolution. He has trained 300 plus ministry representatives from 25 countries and also given talks at the National University of Singapore, University of Leeds, England, University of Aberdeen, Scotland, and Korean Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, South Korea. Well, here we have an activity for you during webinar. What you need to do is you need to follow these instructions. Take a screenshot of the webinar or take a selfie with webinar. Share your experience on your Facebook or Instagram and mention us at these Facebook and Insta IDs. An additional certificate and special shout out on our Insta account. Hand over to Waqas Hassn.
Hey guys, can you hear me? I am waiting for a little thumbs up from someone or someone say yes. Is the voice good?
Yes, Waqas Hassn, you're audible. You can start.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Abdul, for such a long introduction. And when I was listening to all that introduction, you know what was going on in the back of my mind is that I have, after all that, these like 300 ministers, 25 countries, so on and so forth, I have reached a stage where I can be a bonus for someone. Like, वो सुपर हाइपर मार्केट में जाएं तो यू बाय दिस प्रेशर कुकर, साथ में मैगी का बोनस आ जाता है फॉर फ्री. This, guys, is the bonus session. So yeah, after all that, reached a stage where I can be a bonus finally, and I am absolutely excited to be that. Now, we have about 40 minutes or 30 minutes. We'll see how long it goes, but just a brief introduction about me. My name is Waqas Hassn, and I am based in Australia. I am from Lahore as well, where I think this IEEE chapter is located as well. And we have a lot to talk about, but let me show, for some of you who have not seen me, who have seen me on Instagrams and other places, this is what people know me by. I hope the screen is being shared. Yeah. So I am what is called digital nomad, where I create internet companies, online courses. I do online coaching, like something we're doing now as well. And I try to live a life that I always wanted to live when I was growing up, which was travel the world while keeping myself location independent. So this is like all exotic pictures and stuff that I take. But the reality is more like this, where I actually go and I train ministers and organizations and banks and corporate and sometimes individuals as well in different countries over programs like smart cities, industrial revolution 4.0, AI, the future of jobs, which is very important right at the time where we are now in the history with the global pandemic and all that. And this is what the life has been since 2017, and now we are in 2020. So I'll stop sharing this screen and come bring myself back. Yeah, by the way, pretty great initiative here by IEEE. I have to mention that because this is like at this time when we are dealing with such a mass lockdown and education is affected. These kind of seminars and the topics you guys have covered here are so good. I wish I was attending all of them as well. So today we are going to talk about personal branding, and I'm going to plug it in the time that we are living in to make it more relatable as well, because everybody has been taken by surprise, including me. And when I say that, let me give you a bit of more context. So just about 3 months ago, which was Feb of 2020, I was in Lahore and we did a session on personal branding with Hamza, and maybe some of you guys might be there as well. So it was a very like a proper Gulberg and we did a proper session, and I'm talking about the future of jobs and how personal branding is important. Fast forward to 1 month, and whatever I was talking about, even I could not have predicted that that just became the most important thing in the world today. Because what happened suddenly, people started losing massive jobs. Like it is the time in human history where we will never hit the job level which was in 2019. And let me tell you why I'm making such a bold statement. If all the jobs in the world that were created between 2010 to 2019, all these new jobs have been vanished in just last 2 months. So all the people who got jobs in the last full 10 years, the decade of 2010, have already lost their job. The equal amount, number of people, not like exactly those people, an equal number of those people have lost the jobs. Now you might be thinking that when we start going back and the business starts picking up and all that stuff, jobs will start coming back. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen like that, because one of the things that I do is we talk a lot about how technology is taking up the jobs away. So machine learning, artificial intelligence, and automation is taking away a lot of jobs. And we've been talking about it since I started researching it in 2014, and since 2017, I've been giving talks around it and doing trainings, as you saw in those pictures. So this was already happening, that all the most of the jobs that humans were doing, they were going away. But now companies and corporates and big techs just got the excuse to now double down on their investments in automations and machinery and digitalization. Why? Because computer, artificial intelligence never gets coronavirus. So it is a business savvy decision to automate as much as possible, because when such a epidemic comes up or any health issue comes up, and this is going to be like forever, like I don't know how much you guys are staying up to date with the research, but this is one virus in the series which are going to now stay with us for the as like measles and chickenpox and diarrhea and other diseases stay with us. So the companies are realizing that now if they invest upfront in digitalization, automation of their companies, they'll never have to shut down. So next 10 years for us as let's say in our prime job life or prime young age, maybe you are in college, maybe you're in your 20s, maybe some of you are in your 30s, hopefully some of you are in your 40s and taking time out to attend this. But that now the only thing that we have to be focused on is what we call being the knowledge worker, where you are so skilled and almost what I call a thought leader in your field. Now, let me move on to this concept of thought leader. Thought leader is that when there is some, whatever domain you are in, it could be, let's say, digital marketing, it could be graphic designing, video editing, speaking, data analysis, data scientist, artificial intelligence engineer, financial wizard, whatever field you are in, you are a thought leader in this. You have the skill set and you have a voice. So you have a skill set and you have a voice, which means that you share your opinions, you influence people, you spread knowledge, you teach people how to do it. Because when you do these things, you are considered someone who is an expert in this field. And now, more and more companies will be looking forward to hiring thought leaders, knowledge workers, highly skilled people who have a voice as well. This is where the personal brand comes up. Your personal brand is the value that is associated with you as a human, with your name. So let's say Waqas Hassn graduated from university as an engineering major. Doesn't mean anything. Like that, it has no value. Waqas Hassn can do programming in JavaScript and create programs that can help you cut your cost by 30%. That is the value. So you see, Waqas Hassn likes to speak. Doesn't mean anything. Like he's good, I don't know, in communication skills and stuff. Has nothing to do. That's like a personality trait. But Waqas Hassn gives trainings in XYZ, trainings in internet entrepreneurship, trainings in digital marketing. That is a value where company can benefit from someone. So your personal brand is the value that is associated with you. Coming back to example that I am considered an internet business. So I have 3 different companies that I'm running. How do I hire now? I don't hire people on fixed monthly salary anymore, because the work is such that I want to hire only people who have a very strong brand in something that they do. So to give you a very simple example, that when I am looking for someone who is a good video editor, I have pretty much 3 options, right? Option number 1, hire someone 30,000 rupees per month salary and does all the videos. Not worth it. Option number 2, go to Fiverr and upper kind of platforms in the market and look for someone freelancers who will do the video editing for $5, $10. Still better option. Option number 3, look at Instagram, Facebook, and other platforms, YouTubers, to see who is sharing tips on video editing, who is like a thought leader in video editing, who is good in video editing, who is doing for others, who is doing for himself, who is considered as an authority, as an intelligent mind in that. Give that person a contract. I'll give you 50,000 rupees for this 10 videos project that you'll have to do in next 2 weeks. This is where the game changes, from all the way to hiring a fixed employee to freelancer model to hiring proper, what you call highly skilled knowledge workers who are experts in their field. And why this? Because this guy or this woman is a personal brand. he or she has invested time in developing their credibility around being the uh, video editor or everything to do with video. So we are going in a stage in the world in general, tying it back to the introduction, that it's an employer's market now. Now there will be, for the next 10 years at least, which is our foreseeable future, we don't know how the technology will change afterwards. For the next 10 years, we are going into a stage where there will be way too many people looking for jobs, and employers can pick and choose. And when you reach in this stage, and this is pretty much the first time since the last big depression, which was like 80, 90 years ago in 1932, uh, that employers can just pick and choose. And this is not a good place to be in if you are, let's say, in college or graduating from college or still in your 20s or 30s and still looking for jobs. Because most of the jobs that we've been doing for the last 2 decades are just going to go so low in value that there will be someone else who will be willing to do it at a much inexpensive, much cheaper cost. Hence, the only way to now demand premium prices, demand highest income, is project basis work. And the only way to get the best project basis is to have your personal brand. I hope that entire thing ties down very well before we move on to the second section of how you actually develop your personal brand. And I think question answers will be later, but yeah, that's like the big introduction around it. The second part of, before we move on to how you develop your personal brand, the second part is, let's say, so far I've only given you personal brand's value from the perspective of if you want to get the highest contracts, highest job offers, and be the highest paid, highest earning knowledge worker. The other part of personal branding is where you don't go for hire. You don't put yourself up for hiring. Instead, you become what I call internet entrepreneur, which is that through your personal brand, you start generating cash flows yourself. You start earning money yourself. And the way it is done is that because your personal brand has so much value, people hire you for online coaching, for group masterminds, for online courses, whatever you have created, and you basically it's like a business. Now you are the one who is training others, but we'll get into that in the last part of it. I want to now focus on the fact of how do you actually create your personal brand. Your personal brand is the value that you give to the society, to give to the people. This is what you're known for, that this guy does XYZ, this woman does ABC. And there are pretty much 3 steps, I would say, to develop that as your personal brand. First is that you find something which you are good at, decently good at, but you absolutely love doing. And that can be playing cricket, that can be making smoothies with peanut butter, that can be fitness tips, that can be exercise tips, that can be playing guitar, that can be JavaScript programming, that can be Python programming, that can be web development, that can be language translation, that can be how to dress better, how to groom better, that can be how to become too good using Excel better, how to become pro at Photoshop, how video editing, you name it, anything that you like doing. And it doesn't have to be like किसका scope ज़्यादा है, कौन सा marketable skill है. अभी जो आगे 10 साल की दुनिया है, pretty much आगे भी every skill is equally valuable. There's just way too much of world that has opened up with the internet, and everybody becoming a individual knowledge worker or thought leader. And in this, you are like, whatever is my interest and whatever I'm decently good at. And in easy way, few questions that I ask people when I'm coaching them to develop their personal brand. By the way, I think there's a good plug here that on my YouTube channel, so youtube.com/Waqas Hassn, same spelling as you can see here, WQASHASSN. I have a full 12 lessons free masterclass on how to develop your personal brand with exercises. So with worksheets where I take you from step 1 to all the way to step 12. All free. with worksheets. So by the time you finish your, I've pretty much placed it in a way that it takes you about 30 days to develop your personal brand from one to the end, and you will just as in, let's just say that a year later you'll be like, oh, I am so grateful I did that course, because that's gonna change your game. So I am pretty much what I'm saying now. I am reducing that into a short summary. So how do you do that? How do you find what your personal brand is supposed to be? So the questions I ask people who I am coaching as well: what is it that you would be doing on your Saturday? What is it you'll be doing on your Sunday? It literally starts from there. What is it that when you are back from office or work and you like, I instead of chilling, what if you want to do something, what will be you working on? Or what is something that your friends or your people ask you advice for? Hey Hamza, yaar, you manage your time pretty well. Can you tell me how do you do your time management? That is it. Or you seem you're very motivated. You seem like you speak really well. You seem like you're very productive. You seem like you've got really good networking skills. You seem like you're pretty good in networking, network engineering, so on and so forth. So that's another question you can ask yourself. What is it that your friends or your people kind of know you about? Like, this person is like that. This is what he or she is known for. That really helps to find to basically bypass your blind spots and figure out what is it something that you're good at. And then, so you what I do is that you do some 5 6 of these skills where you're like, this is my interest, I'm good at, this is my interest, I'm good at, this is my interest, I'm good at, so on and so forth. And then what you do is that you look at the market, which is you simply go to either Instagram or Facebook business insights or just the audience insights, and you put your thing, let's say guitar, market choose Pakistan, age bracket 15 to 30. Just look at how many, the number of people who are following that thing that you're interested in, and you will be amazed. There will be tens of millions of people who would be interested in that. And whichever among your interests you feel like has the highest market, you choose that, because the bigger the market, the more opportunities you're going to have. So that's pretty much your step one and two. Then at step three, what you do is that you choose a platform which I say has a long tail, which means that whatever content that you're creating, if how you want that content to stay relevant for the next 3 to 5 years. Now here is where I never advise platforms like TikTok, never, but even platforms like Instagram, and like, no, that's like, it's good for fun, a good communication with your audience, to have some fame and stuff like that, but to not to have real business, to have real strong personal brand that gives you a lot of cash on the go, is platforms with long tail. And these are the platforms like YouTube primarily, but also platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn also do well, where you create content that you can keep resharing every 3 months, or in YouTube every year. Or you don't even do that because the platform itself keeps your video, showing your video to people over many, many years. So you know that a lot of YouTube videos that you guys watch, if you look at your YouTube history today and just look at, let's say if you have watched 10 videos in the last 3 days, you'll see, and just look at their dates. You'll be surprised to see you're watching videos which are 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 5 years ago. But you're not doing that on Instagram or any other these kind of platforms. These are current platforms. So you're only watching something which is uploaded in the last 24 hours. As someone who is going for a long personal brand, I recommend using platforms like YouTube more, or blog, Medium, Quora, where you write thing and that thing stays on for a while, instead of using platforms where these are more for the virality and fame. These are more like Instagram and TikTok kind of platforms, which are very spontaneous. You choose a platform and then you start sharing your thoughts in a very structured manner. Again, because we are in a slightly time crunch, the easier way to look at that is same my YouTube channel. You'll see that these 12 videos are almost done in like you are attending a lecture, a class a class with 12 lectures, and each of these lectures is pretty much done in a very structured way. There's a starting point, there's an ending point, builds onto the other. The point here is that you choose a field. So let's say you've chosen field, which I think a lot of you might, I mean, I'm making a guess, but might be relevant, that a lot of you are probably into programming. So you start sharing, let's say, introduction to JavaScript, and you make like 5 videos or 10 videos, and you like, in order to learn JavaScript, Python, or whatever you're choosing, here is class number one, then you share this. Lecture number two, you share that. Lecture number five, tuck, 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 and you share that, and you then trust YouTube and platforms like this that your education or your thoughts are they're gonna go on for years now, and people are gonna keep finding you, knowing about you. And if let's say you don't want to teach something, then you go get into somewhere where you can just share your thoughts. So for example, you've got a really keen eye in financial and politics analysis, and then every week you are making a video or you're writing a blog post where you are analyzing the previous week that passed by in terms of how the economic crisis is paving out, what are some of the monetary and fiscal policies, how the politics is shaping up, what are some of the good investment decisions. So you basically become kind of a knowledge sharer. And let's say you are completely different. You are someone who loves watching a lot on Amazon Prime or Netflix, or you are the person who is a lot into these videos and content, which quite a lot of you are, but you always look at yourself from a consumer perspective. Okay, I'm just sitting back and I'm watching these things. How about every week you start reviewing some of the shows, some of the movies, and starts becoming someone who is an authority people listen to when it comes to choosing what content they want to watch, because you are logical in your reviews, and so on and so forth. So you know where I'm getting, right? I have a friend for my Instagram as well. She started sharing singing lessons, for example. So she's a singer all her life, and last year she's like, okay, in next 12 lessons, I'm going to teach you guys how to become a singer, basics of classical singing, step one, step two, step three. That she had like 2,000 YouTube followers. Today she has 160,000 YouTube followers. She gets opportunities to sing at corporate events, to do all kinds of training, sponsorship, so on and so forth. Classic way when you do not focus becoming viral. So anyone else, if she or he was a singer and they were focusing on that virality mindset, okay, what is a trending song, or what is this funny next video? I'll sing it in a funny way, I'll go viral. It's fine. You can go viral. Nothing happens. Life doesn't change, because that virality, that one video is not your personal brand. It's important to understand and decouple this, that having these viral videos and stuff is not your personal brand. It's where the value you are giving to the world, value that you're giving to the audience. So she instead created this program, and now because maybe someone who's viral has maybe 500,000 views on their YouTube, but they won't be getting as many job or business opportunities as this person who has positioned herself as a thought leader. That is the difference between a personal brand and just any other TikToker on the internet. Now I'm just going to quickly go to the last part. So you've created your, again, I mean, this is a short version, so the long version is also there. At the final stage, you must be wondering that how do you make money as a personal brand? And of course, there are two ways. One is where you put yourself up for hiring, where you actually say yes to a lot of gigs. And I still do that, right? I've shown you this speaking gigs that I've shown you. First, they were physical, but this year I'm doing a lot of these digitally. So I'm giving in Kuala Lumpur, they're paying pretty well, and so on and so forth in 2 weeks from now. So you put yourself for hiring because you're doing something, you're a thought leader in that. Like I create content on how to become an internet entrepreneur, how to create your digital nomad brand, or how to just even do digital marketing, and so on and so forth. That's my field. That's what I know about. So I get hired to train corporates and governments, organizations, and sometimes individuals as well into this. Then at stage two, instead of getting hired, you put up your online coaching program. It can be one-on-one coaching, or it can be masterminds where maybe 10 people join you, pay you 10,000 rupees per person for your 4 classes every Sunday. Okay, so just for the math here, so let's say you have 10 people who are paying you 10,000 each for 4 classes on every Sunday. Sunday 1, Sunday 2, Sunday 3, Sunday 4 in a month, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And there are 10 people who are in your class, so that's 10,000 into 10, 1 lakh rupees. And this is the power of personal brand, that you are earning 1 lakh rupees on by working on 4 Sundays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's it. That's 8 hours of work in a month on a freaking Sunday. Otherwise, you might just be in bed and waiting for the chai and pakoras these days in Ramadan. But yeah, you get what I mean. Pakoras after iftar, not at 10 a.m., but you get what I mean. So this is the where the personal brand starts becoming very valuable. I said that from someone who is working as putting themselves for hiring starts becoming a coach, group masterminds. And then where the personal brand really picks up is where in 2018 when I shipped. So I was into 1 year of personal brand from 2017 to 2018, and in 2018 I started making my own online courses, and that's where the game really picks up. Now if you go to, let's say, Udemy, udemy.com, which is the largest online courses platform, and you search my name, same spelling, you'll see I have about 22,000 students there, and you can do the math there. The course prices are listed there. Or I have a blog called australiayours.com, 2,000 plus students through the blog, so on and so forth. This is where whatever you are teaching or coaching, you package them into a full course material, and you then start selling it at a package, and now it's 100% scalable because these are the courses pre-built. Imagine this entire talk not like as unstructured as I did now, but in a very structured manner. If I'm giving a talk on personal branding and I am selling it for, I don't know, $10, a proper with a lot of worksheets and stuff like that, then there is no limit how many people are going to do it. Take your course, take your coaching, so on and so forth, and it just becomes 100% scalable. That's where the game really changes. So now, in summary, because we're pretty much at the end and I have to do question answers as well, the 2020 global pandemic, job market will never be the same ever in 2019. It's employers market, at least for the next 10 years, because automation, digitalization, everything has happened, businesses are shut down, companies are going bankrupt. So now when companies do hire, they want to only hire the highest skilled people out there, and they want to do it more on the project basis than full-time employees. Imagine if you were like, I only hire people on project basis, 10 video contract here, web development contract there. So when this happens, when the business shuts down and global economic shutdown happens, I don't have to lay off any staff, right? Because there's nobody working. It was just one project. But companies who hire people on payrolls, when anything happens to the economy, then these companies struggle because then they have to let those employees go, and there are all kinds of unemployment benefits and so on and so forth. So that's then what happens is that companies are only going to hire most people on project basis. And the best way to be hired on project basis is to have the strong personal brand on the internet. And then we covered how do you create your personal brand. 3 steps we covered pretty much. How do you find your interest, create content, and so on, and possibly in the long tail platform. And lastly, if you want to then not put yourself up for hiring, but become an internet entrepreneur, digital nomad, so on and so forth, and work for your own self, then there is no upper limit to the income as well. That's 30 minutes on the dot. I will now look at the question answer sessions, and yeah, let me know what you guys are going to ask. Adnan has a great question. What qualities person should have to explore his or her personal brand? The best thing about today's world is that instead of rating skill, which is a higher value skill, which is a lower value skill, this for the first time is the world of uniqueness. That instead of learning some skill that you have to learn, you go out with the skill and interest that you already have. And that can be as simple as for someone who has gone to, let's say, good college, university in the world, makes his or her personal brand on teaching people how to choose universities better, how to choose career options better, how to ace SATs and GMATs and IELTS and PTE courses, how to do this, how to do that. So whatever you are doing, or what is your reality is, what is the truth that you're living, that is your personal brand. But also, I did a video on Instagram where what are the top 5 skills that are now most required if you want to stay relevant in today's world. So I'll just quickly tell those as well. Number one is the communication skills. So everything to do with social skills and communication skills. If you can speak well, if you can write well, you there is no upper limit to you, and you're always in demand. And why is that? Because suddenly, with this digitalization in our life, you guys are realizing that it's all come down to communication skills, right? Now, all these webinars are happening everywhere, all these talks are happening, all these trainings are happening. To give you even more relevant example, every school in India and Pakistan now are going with that, around the world as well, but India and Pakistan are going with that digital lectures, right? Digital classrooms, Google Hangouts, so on and so forth. But what happens is that when they have to do it, they realize neither the teachers know how to train nor the students know how to attend, and nobody knows how to make the communication happen. Nobody even knows how to make the infrastructure work. So if you are anywhere in this chain where you are helping them with the platform, where you're training teachers how to talk better on the digital platforms, where you help them develop assignments and stuff like that, whatever it is, it's unbelievable amount. There is you for the next 10 years you're set. Then it's all kinds of programming skills. That's number two. Any kind of programming skill that you know, machine learning, data scientists, any languages, those are the most valuable skills. If your children are growing up today without learning how to hold a pen or write ABC, they're perfectly fine. I have not held a pen in years now. It's perfectly fine. They don't need to learn how to write because freaking keyboards and smartphones, everything is just type A, B, C, tuck, tuck, tuck. You don't know how to write A. So the game has changed from writing or learning ABC to learning programming. If they're growing up in today's world without programming understanding, they are going to be suffering that. Imagine you if you can't speak English, Hindi, Urdu, whatever country you're in today, and you suffer so much, right? Similarly, the next generation will suffer if they don't know the programming languages. But you as if you already are from the tech background and know programming languages, then double down on that. One of the great skills. Then are the skills at number three are the skills of all kind of video editing, graphic designing, web development, and so forth. Because maybe you don't want to build your own personal brand, but you want to be the one who enables so many people in help developing their personal brand. So I'm looking at the trends. Let's say 11,000 people have seen my first video on YouTube on personal brand. So maybe just like 100 people out of those 11,000 will end up creating their personal brands. Those 100 people who are creating their personal brand will eventually, like me, will be looking for video editors, graphic designers, so on and so forth to hire. So if you're just focusing on your skills, any skills to do in that space of graphic designing, video editing, web development, stuff is you're never gonna run out of orders in the next world. Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. We won't go until 5 because I'm gonna take some more questions as well.
Okay, so Abdul Rahman here. I have a question.
Sure.
So most of the universities in Pakistan doesn't focus much on personal branding. So how can student
Okay, there's this
personal brand?
yeah, couple of thoughts here. Firstly, that nobody in the world focuses on personal branding because it's a very new thing. It's only started in 2017-18 where people started becoming aware of the fact that there is more value in a personal brand than degrees. And having a degree means that you are playing the same game as 10 million people who graduate in a year with the same degree. Instead, if you have a personal brand, you are completely playing a different game, and even people started knowing about it pretty just very recently. So universities will pick up. You'll start seeing courses on personal branding and so on. But more than that, the entire education system, including universities, especially universities, are built to feed people in the job market. You have to understand that the formal education of the formal education of 4 years is not supposed. If let's say hypothetically you don't go in university, and I tell you that I'll pay you 1 crore rupees or $100,000. The only challenge is you have to finish everything that you will study in 4 years in 1 year. I am betting you 100% you will. If I give you the incentive, you will do the same thing in 1 year. It's just that universities want to take you for 4 years and feed you the job because that's their business model. So yeah, they don't want to also get into a place where it becomes irrelevant. They want to stay relevant.
Okay, Waqas, thank you so much for your presentation.
Yes. You can take it from here. I am also kind of lost where I sometimes chat pops up, but I don't know where that goes. So yeah. Keshav is attending. Is like I've taken your educational content on YouTube. Thanks, Keshav. All the best. Yeah, buddy, over to you.
Well, our next webinar is on Wednesday, 20th of May 2020 at 10 p.m. Mohammad Abdul Rahman from University of Punjab will talk on If you don't find it, create it. He is doing electrical engineering from University of the Punjab Lahore. He is involved in many co-curricular activities, participated in inter-school competitions like ISMO, International School Math Olympiad, organized by Paktuk School, essay writing competition organized by Oxford University Press Lahore Section at Mini Club Lahore, official member of IEEE and organizer of some big events like Big Data, organized an activity named Work from Home Space during COVID-19 pandemic situation, hosting his own website named as emaxstreet.com. He holds good grip on web development and do some freelancing jobs. Well, we have Amarzish Kadir from Rifa International University. Will talk on the same topic. If you don't find it, create it. She is Amarzish Kadir from currently studying software engineering from Rifa International University, Faisalabad last semester. She is proud IEEE student member. She will share her IEEE WIA experience. Well, we will share our student experience with you and will guide you how you can make your student life better in academics, in IEEE, and in your personal life. Thank you so much for your attention. We will email e-certificates to you within 1 or 2 working days. If you have any query, feel free to ask.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Keep
Thank
doing
you.
it, and hopefully this will help some of you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Waqas, for your time. And I hope all of you really enjoyed the session.